All right, let's get right into it. We're going to talk about what is, without a doubt, the single most important and yet the most ignored tool for actually surviving in the world of trading. And here's a hint. It has nothing to do with picking the perfect stock or having a crystal ball. It's way more important than that. So here's a question that drives people crazy. Why do so many traders lose money and blow up their accounts even when they have a strategy that's right most of the time? I mean, how is that even possible? It's a nightmare scenario that I bet a lot of you have either worried about or unfortunately lived through. Well, here's the brutally simple answer. A good strategy is only one piece of the puzzle. You can take that exact same winning strategy, but if you pair it with bad position sizing, you're headed for ruin. But you pair it with good sizing, and that's the path to success. The strategy wasn't the variable that mattered most. Something else was. And that brings us right to what we call the hidden trading trap. This is the thing that sneaks up on traders from beginners to seasoned pros and completely derails their careers. Here's what the trap looks like in action. You have a great idea, you feel super confident, so you decide to go big, really big. But then the trade turns against you. And just like that, poof, one single decision has the power to wipe out weeks, maybe even months of all your hard work. It's absolutely devastating. So let's be crystal clear about this. The problem isn't that your analysis was wrong or that you got into the trade at the wrong second. The real villain, the culprit behind almost every massive trading account blowup, is simply how much you decided to risk on that one idea. Okay, so that's the problem. But don't worry, there's a solution. There's a way to completely avoid that trap, and it's all about how you go about sizing your bets. And the formal name for this is position sizing. Now, the definition is super simple. It's just the process of figuring out how much of your money you're going to put at risk on one trade. And listen to that again. It's not about how much you invest. It's about how much you're willing to lose if you're flat out wrong. Big difference. And to do this right, you really have to shift your entire mindset. The goal of trading isn't to hit that one grand slam home run that makes you rich overnight. The real goal is to survive day after day, week after week, so you can let your account grow steadily over the long haul. Survival comes first, always. All right, so that's the big idea, the why. Now let's get into the how. We're going to walk through a super simple formula that you can literally start using on your very next trade. The method we're going to focus on is called the percentage of capital method. And you know what? It's pretty much the gold standard for a reason. This is what the pros use. It's simple, it's powerful, and it works. And it's as easy as 1, 2, 3. First, you need to know exactly how much money is in your trading account, your total capital. Second, you have to pick your risk percentage. The pros, they live in the 1 to 2% range. So for our example, we're going to use 2%. And finally, step 3, you just do the quick math. Multiply your capital by that risk percentage, and that gives you your max loss for any single trade. So let's put some real numbers to this to make it concrete. Let's say you've got a $10,000 trading account, and you've decided to follow the 2% rule. Okay, well, what's 2% of $10,000? $200. And that $200, that becomes your unbreakable rule. It is your line in the sand. It doesn't matter if you think this is the greatest trade setup in the history of the world. You are never allowed to lose more than $200 on it, period. So why are we so obsessed with this number? What makes it so powerful? Because this little rule is your ticket to surviving something that is absolutely 100% guaranteed to happen to every single trader, a losing streak. Okay, just look at this. The proof is right here. We've got trader A, who's reckless and risks a whopping 20% on each trade. Then we have trader B, who is disciplined and sticks to that 2% rule. Now watch what happens after just 5 losses in a row, which by the way happens all the time. Trader A has lost almost 70% of their account. They're on life support. But Trader B? They're down less than 10%. It's just a scratch. I mean, the difference is just night and day, right? Trader A is toast. Financially and probably emotionally, they are completely broken. But Trader B is still healthy, with plenty of capital and the confidence to keep executing their strategy. They are still in the game, ready for the winning streak that's just around the corner. And that's it right there. This is why position sizing isn't just some nerdy risk management tactic. It is the absolute key to having a long and successful career in this business. So let's just nail this down. Think of proper sizing as your superpower. Why? because it puts an iron cage around those catastrophic losses. It mathematically ensures that you can survive a string of bad luck. And by doing that, it keeps you in the game long enough to let your edge play out, and it forces you to be consistent and disciplined. At the end of the day, you don't get rich in the markets by hitting a few lucky home runs. You get rich by hitting singles and doubles, over and over, and letting those small, consistent profits compound into something truly massive over time. So the next time you're about to click that buy or sell button, I want you to stop and ask yourself a question. And the question isn't, am I going to be right? The real question, the one that truly determines your future, is this. Is this a wild gamble where I'm just crossing my fingers and hoping for the best? Or is this a calculated risk, one that I have defined, that I understand, and that I can completely control? Your answer changes everything.